Can you talk about your fairy tale discovery?
Yeah, with the accent on fairy.
I've always wanted to get on, you know. And I auditioned Deep Purple last year in August. No, it was...
Presumably you're nearer normality than they are. I mean, they've been living in this fantasy world for so many years. Presumably the contrast between...
I've always had the fantasy there, you know.
Sorry?
I've always wanted, I've known what it was about, you know. I just wanted to, instead of standing outside the door, I wanted to get in, you know.
And you're happy now you're there?
I'm very happy, yeah. Right.
What's it like being a superstar? Carrying around this sort of envelope of fame and...
Well, it's very, very strange, actually. The only real, as far as I'm concerned, the only real superstars, to use the term properly, are the people that would gain instant recognition in any town, in any country where their music or their films, whatever, have been seen or heard. Rock musicians don't actually come in for that kind of recognition outside the sphere of being in a concert hall and its environs.
People now say to me, what's it like to be a superstar? And I say, pardon? Because I'm still playing the same as I did before, but it's like changing a job. It's like anyone changing a job. I'm playing with better people. The money side is there. I mean, financially it's fine, but it's a change of job. And to be called a superstar just because you've changed your job or firm, as Ian put it, is just stupid to me. I just can't.
No, it must have altered your lives. Oh, you don't eat fish and chips now. You presumably go for...
Do it for fancy. Do it for fancy.
If you don't want to eat fish and chips, you can afford not to eat fish and chips. That's all. That's the only.
All it is choice.
We don't walk around with hand mirrors, you know, like sort of admiring ourselves all the time, you know. Like, as Ian puts it, once the job is over for that particular night, you go home or you leave, and once you're out of the surrounding area, honestly, hardly anybody would recognise you unless they happen to be a fan of yours and have pictures of you at home or something. Or your album. I mean, like.
Is that failure?
No, it's because.
I'd rather be recognised musically than as a face.
It's an insulated world, rock and roll, you know. I mean, it doesn't actually get to Mrs. Hodgkins at number 43, you know. It gets to her daughter, maybe, or her son. Actually, I'd like to get to Mrs. Hodgkins' daughter. She's all right.
Paul McCartney's discovery.
Yeah, that's right. Very Hodgkin. Do you see what I'm trying to say? It's very insulated. And if it does happen in the street, if some Joe Boggs comes up to me in the street and asks for my autograph, of course I'm knocked out. I love it. It's a great feeling.
But you give up such a lot, you know. You give up such a lot when you're doing this.
What?
Time. That's what you give up. You know, for an hour and a half you get up on stage, you're probably spending 2 or 3 days, you know, away from your home life. Your social life gets screwed right up because you're pissing off to different countries every month or so. And that's a huge thing to give up. That freedom to say, I think I'll go to the pictures tonight, because you can't, because you know tomorrow you'll be playing 1,000 miles away, you've got to get a plane.
Now you may say, quite rightly, that you'd give up that freedom for the amount of money involved.
I might do, yeah.
And that's exactly what I'd say. Yeah. Which is why I'm doing it. Could you pass me that bottle of marvellous stuff?
Is it hard work doing all that drumming behind such a loud band tonight?
Physically it's quite demanding. The hardest thing is keeping the sweat out of my eyes, believe it or not. That's the hardest thing. It's fun, but it's not that difficult, other than if you're not feeling like 100%, it can get a bit tiring after half an hour.
Well, if you're not feeling 100%, what makes it hard is trying to make yourself feel 100%. Because
you know you should be playing better.
Because really, I don't want to sound twee or anything, or trite, It will, but it's not intended to. You do seriously feel an immense necessity to be good. And it stems from the fact that you are being paid by a lot of people to excel and to excite them. And if you know you're not doing it, I get so brought down. You know, it's amazing how just doomy you can get. You can walk off stage and literally be in tears.
Getting back to the studio thing, why we're probably a little bit on the subdued side on record is because when you're recording, you find that there's one engineer and a couple of T-boys around, and it doesn't really inspire you to turn out your best. Whereas when you're on stage, you're playing to the people, and they inspire you, obviously, you know. I suppose it's an ego thing, really. You like to kind of basically show off, show them what you know, and you get really inspired. You get a real exciting thing playing with the crowd because they just turn you on.
We don't have many bad nights. In fact, since we've started, we've got on 3 fingers we've had maybe 3 bad nights. And when we do have a bad night, we don't fight. We just walk off, and we don't speak to each other. And the next day we go on stage. It's like that. We don't ever argue intensely. When we criticise each other, it's always polite criticism.
Yeah, you're shit, man.
It's necessary to respect each other. It's immensely necessary. Bands have broken up through lack of respect.
We spent time together socially.
This band more than this combination of Deep Purple more than any other combination. Yes.
I don't know how I think.
Can't help.
I've spent more time with Glenn since he's been the band than I spent with Roger in 2 years. The band has existed. I mean, Richie, Ian, and myself have been together since the end of 1967.
Your The Suspect Zarathustra seems to bring a cheer, as that proves that you're a better musician when you're playing Richard Strauss than you are when you're playing John Lord.
That comes from them, because I don't think that.
That's just a change of style.
I mean, maybe you should ask a member of the audience that. I mean, I don't know. It's recognition, if you like. I mean, it's recognising a familiar thing. I put it in there because I think it works there. I love playing it as well. It's gas to play.
Works with the idea of that particular song.
I mean, the songs.
There's a space song.
There's a link. I mean, it's a tenuous.
No one thinks of it as Strauss. They think immediately 2001.
I suspected that one could prove that one was a good musician to the audience by playing classical music.
No, in actual fact, I think I could prove it better by improvising on the chord of G with him in the background. I think I could prove I'm a musician too. That's what I was up there for, but I'm not up there for that. I'm not up there to prove I'm a good musician. I'm up there because, well, all sorts of things, but not that. 1 is because it's my job. 2 is because I love it. And 3 is because I can't do anything else.